Hello, everyone, and welcome to Traylin Talks, where I sit down and read stories that go along with the theme. These stories will range from Reddit, personal stories, and more. So grab a snack, get comfy, and let's dive into these crazy stories. I hope you enjoy. So, I'm super tired today, but our theme is going to be animals. So pets, household animals, dogs, cats, that kind of stuff. And our first story is titled, Am I the Asshole for Refusing to Pay My Sister-in-Law's Medical Bill After My Cat Bit Her? So this was posted on the Am I the Asshole Reddit subreddit. And I, 24 female, my sister-in-law Candace is 29 female. Candace has this thing where she has no regard for boundaries for humans or animals. I have a cat, Tissue, who's a complete dick. Tissue will sit there and he won't run away from you, but if you try to rub him without asking him for a rub, he'll bite you. My cat too, actually. Candace knows this. She also knows that if Tissue wants attention... Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm tired. He will absolutely demand it, and if you don't give it to him, he'll also bite you. But it's more a nibble. Doesn't usually hurt, and it's just kind of a warning because he's a cunt, and I've let him get away with it for the last 3 years. Candace was at my house last Thursday, as per usual. I told her don't rub the cat because he didn't want attention. He was on his side of the table where he sleeps, and we were having a cup of coffee. Candace decides she wasn't respecting Tissue's boundaries. Because she's an idiot who clearly enjoys getting bitten, she went to rub Tissue. He was behaved. He actually snarled at her the first time to tell her to please go away. Then he hissed. That's a warning sign. And she rubbed a third time, and he locked onto her so hard he drew blood. And it was her own fault. Tissue ran out of the room, is what she meant, and he was no longer being tormented by the demon lady. And she was like, well, what was that for you? Oh my God, this is so bad written. And she was like, well, that was that for train your stupid cat, and basically saying there was no warning. I told her to go to the doctor and get antibiotics because cat bites can be dangerous. Fast forward to today, Candace rings me and tells me she had to go to the emergency room because she has an infection from the cat bite. She needs to stay in the hospital for IV antibiotics, and basically I'll have to reimburse her for the medical expenses. I told her I wasn't reimbursing her since she knew not to touch the cat and proceeded to, despite Tissue even warning her to back off. My mom and brother got involved, and they both think I'm being an ass for not covering at least some. My dad thinks I'm right because I warned Candace and have many times in the past. It's been causing major issues over the last few hours, and my mom and brother think I'm the asshole. Am I the asshole? So, no, I don't think you are. Let's click on my link here and go to the comment sections. Oh, this post has been removed. Top comment is, not the asshole. You told her to leave the cat alone. The cat clearly gave multiple go away signals and she wouldn't listen. I love to pet cute kitty as much as the next person, but when the people and the cat say no, it's a no. You and your dad are right. Your sister-in-law is feeling the consequences of not listening and respecting boundaries. OP responds to this, he's not even cute. He's really ugly. Looks like a shit tissue, hence the name. It's a face only a cat mom could love. I love that. But yeah, no, you are not the asshole. You gave her all the chances in the world to not get bit, literally. Moving on. Am I the asshole for not washing my hands at 3 a.m.? Last night, my significant other, 28 female, woke me up, 29 male, up at around 3 a.m. to tell me that I had thrown our dog off the bed while sleeping. I was a bit annoyed that she woke me up, so I went to the kitchen to grab a glass of water and use the restroom. I tried to stay as sleepy as possible to fall back asleep quickly. When I returned to bed, my significant other told me to wash my hands as she had apparently heard me in the restroom and noticed that I forgot to wash them in my half-asleep state. I told her that I just wanted to go back to sleep and didn't want to argue since I had sprained my ankle a bit earlier in the evening. However, she continued to ask me to wash my hands repeatedly. After some back and forth, I decided to sleep in the guest room instead of our bed. I'm aware that I should wash my hands after using the restroom. I would hope so. But I was annoyed that my significant other wouldn't drop the issue and that I couldn't fall back asleep until about 5:30 a.m. The next morning, I woke up in a bad mood and my significant other asked me jokingly why I had slept in the guest room. I told her that I had slept there because she woke me up for the dog and wouldn't drop the hand washing issue. I expected an apology from her since I thought waking me up for the dog was inappropriate. However, she told me that it was my fault for not washing my hands and that I should have tried harder to fall back asleep. She said I was being dramatic and needed to get over it. I got frustrated because I had asked her to drop the issue several times during the night, but she ignored me. I got angry and told her that I should have washed my hands, but that waking me up for the dog's comfort was ridiculous, and that she should have dropped it when I asked her to. I then told her not to talk to me until she had something else to say besides "you are overreacting." She left for work, and I am now typing this in my home office, feeling upset. We are at a standstill where I feel like I need an apology, and she feels like I am being dramatic. I tend to get angry quickly when I am sleep deprived, so I know that I may be in the wrong here. I need some outside perspective. So Reddit, am I the asshole? So I know this story isn't necessarily about the dog, but I thought it was worth including. And I'm opening it up now to see about the comments. This was also a removed post. The top comment says, "Not the asshole. If the woman was truly concerned about germs, she wouldn't be letting a dog sleep on the bed. Does she clean his paws before he enters the house with the same vehemence she expects you to wash your hands? I can guarantee a dog has walked through many unsavory things prior to bringing it back to your floor inside your house. You may be then tracking around yourself on the soles of your own feet. Not the dog's fault, just facts. Also, waking you up at that time of the morning, unfair. I suggest the next time something like dog evicted from bed happens, wake her up at bum o'clock in the morning. See how she likes it." Not only that, but I've never seen a dog with toilet paper wiping his butt. You may not see actual dog feces on your sheets, but believe me, there are germs. Well, I'm conflicted on this one because I don't want to sound disgusting, but yeah, my dog's allowed in my bed, so I didn't think of it from that perspective, and now I feel uncomfy. But I'm not gonna stop letting my dog sleep in my bed, so I think I'll just move on. The next one is titled, "Am I the asshole for throwing dog poop on my cousin?" I know that the title sounds weird, but hear me out. My cousin Rob is the type of guy that wants to be on YouTube, famous, but all he does these really mean pranks that no one likes, but he thinks is funny. Like he gave my grandma a fake lottery ticket and laughed when she got happy, causing her to cry. I told him not to prank me because his pranks are not funny and often hurt people. Also, my first reaction when someone jumps out at me is to swing, and the last time I got in trouble, so I told him countless times, do not prank me. He did not listen, so when I was walking my dog, to be clear, he's a pit bull mix, his name is Rex, he is a big dog, so when I walk him, his poop is the size of my hand. When I was walking him, I needed to go down this alley-like space that creeps me out, but I walk my dog down there because that is the only place he likes to go to the bathroom at. Today, Rex had a very wet poop. When I went to pick it up, it got hot and it had some rocks in it, so I tied it up and was on the way to walk home when Rob jumps out saying, "Give me your money, beep," with a fake knife that I thought was real. My instincts told me to swing, and I did. When I realized what just happened, all I could do is stare at him as poop ran down his face, shoes, and clothes. He dropped his phone, breaking it, and started to throw up. Then he took off running to my house. I ran after him, and all he says is that I threw poop on him on purpose. My aunt and uncle yelled at me when I told them my side of the story. They did not believe me. So when my parents got home from getting some food, my aunt and uncle lied. Rob was taking a very long shower after he hosed himself down. My parents are on my side because I told him, don't prank me, and they know that I swing first when things jump out at me. They want me to pay for a new pair of shoes, clothes, a phone, and any face care that he needs. I told them that there is no way that I am paying for that. I told my friends the same story, and some of them said that I should pay because I should not punch things that jump out at me. Am I the asshole? No, this may be an unpopular opinion, but no, Rob deserved that, being the prankster that he is. But let's see what the other comments have to say. Oh. Okay, so there's a little update. It says, thank you to everyone that commented. I thought I was in the wrong, and for everyone asking how did the bag open, I swung at him. He dodged it by the bag being tied to my wrist. The bag hit him in the face/neck, and the bag ripped. My mom bought cheap bags. They rip easily. Rob has a very bad ear infection, and he has pimples everywhere. My uncle and aunt have spread the lies that I did it on purpose, and some people believe them, and some of my family don't. David and Danny are my older cousins, and then they play funny pranks on me. They know that he is lying and start calling him by the boy who caught shit. One of the pranks they do is water bottle and penny prank on me, or they covered my room in sticky notes when I was sleeping. Update, my aunt and uncle wanted to prove that I was lying about it being a reflex, so my aunt jumped out of my closet at 10 a.m. I'm over at my grandma's house because I like being around her. Rob's family just came over when they found out I was there, and I punched her in the nose and I broke it. She called me a dumb bitch and my grandma kicked her out. I know this is not over. Okay, top comments. Not the asshole. Fuck around and find out. He was warned. I don't give a single iota of pity for him. Do not back down or give in. He wants to play pranks, and he can suffer the consequences and pay to replace his own shit that was ruined because he didn't want to respect boundaries. Not your fault, not your problem, not the asshole. I wouldn't lose sleep over this. There was another poster also, sick of her brother's stupid pranks, and her brilliant solution was to have Disney songs playing. Disney is vicious with copyright protection, so the brother couldn't upload any of his idiocy. OP should invest in some Bluetooth speakers, I think. Not even ruined. All of that can be cleaned. He just doesn't want to clean it. Not the asshole. This trend of pranks is not funny. Many pranksters have gotten punched or beaten down. So, people agree with me. Dog poop guy is not the asshole. Moving on. Am I the asshole to protect my dog over my parents? First of all, I want to apologize to any possible grammatical mistakes. English is not my native language. I, 24 female, have a dog. Let's call it Jack, 6 male. Not the real name. It's been in my life since it was 3 months. Small, mid-sized dog, Shih Tzu. My dad, 65 male, never wanted an animal at home because we live in an apartment. He always said that domestic animals should live in a house, but eventually my mom, 56 female, made up his mind. In December of 2016, they bring Jack home. It was a surprise for me since I always wanted and asked for one. It's really important to give you some context now. I've got depression since I was 12, and when Jack came home, I had surprisingly improved. My mental health really got better and better each day. Anyone could see it, even my therapist. That's why they gifted me the dog. Fast forward to 2 years later. Jack started to bite us in specific moments. 1. Jack likes to sleep everywhere, in the middle of the day to the kitchen or in the middle of the way to somewhere in the house, like every dog does, making us walk over him while he sleeps. Sometimes he gets up abruptly because of the fright, causing us to step over Jack's paw or tail. Step on his paw or tail, or even lightly kick in the head, aka when it gets hurt. Take him away from the sofa when it doesn't want to. So those are things that prompt the dog to bite. A thing that Jack stopped doing was walking in the middle of our legs while we walk, coming to the topic 1 above. What my dad doesn't understand is that the dogs bark. Jack barks to the TV if animals are showing, bark to the neighbor's next door dog. My dad really gets angry, yelling and shouting at Jack, calling it idiot, son of a bitch, asshole, and other heavy stuff that I can't translate from my native language. Every time that I defend Jack from them, they say that I prefer the dog over family, especially once when I told them I'll get a job so they won't have to trouble with Jack anymore because I'd move out with it, turning it into a fight because they were really angry and upset with me when I said that. Last year, my dad had a surgery that made him walk really, really slow for a couple of months. In the beginning of his recovery, Jack became extremely overprotective towards my dad. Nobody could get close to him without Jack barking at us. 1 month later, we decided to castrate Jack, which my dad always was against because it was against the nature. And it would be mutilation. And only after that, Jack was slowly getting calmer, and it's been almost 7 months since we did it and hadn't bit us again. Makes sense? If it hadn't worked, our last shot was to train Jack. And if it still happened, then they said I'd give it away to somebody else and then take it back when I had my own place. My mom had some panic attacks when Jack barked a lot because of her childhood dog trauma. I suggest so many times to her to see a therapist, but she don't want to, saying she's better while Jack's chill. After some time, my mom gave up on this idea because she would never forgive herself from doing this, knowing how special Jack is to me. Besides that, it would take 2 to 3 years for me to get a job, be stable enough to have a place of my own, and then take Jack back. In the meantime, the person who'd stay with Jack would be really attached to it, so it would hurt a lot of people and the dog. All of my friends are on my side. My sister is on our parents' side. The 3 of them are afraid to let my niece, 5 female, alone next to him, but Jack's afraid of her, always running when she approaches. My friend says that I'm not overreacting towards the situation, that they're totally wrong about it, especially my dad. Please don't curse my dad. I love him so much. I know he's wrong, but I won't tolerate some comments about him. Be consistent with the situation. So am I the asshole here? Well, I don't know. I think that it's good that you got the dog fixed so that he won't be so aggressive. But I don't know. I feel like if he's doing all this stuff to cause your mom super anxiety, you need to get the dog trained. But let's check out these top comments here. You're the asshole. Train this dog. This is not the last shot. This is the first shot. Castration doesn't make up training. A dog doesn't bite. A dog doesn't bark at everything. Train that poor thing. They're not in the wrong. You are. Why didn't you train him? That's fair, because we have to keep in mind this is not a child. This is a 24-year-old female. So a grown woman. She actually responds to that. I live in a third world country, and a specialized person to train him is expensive to me. I've already tried to do it by myself, but it was useless. I got a job this month, but I'm paid just $400 per month. I just found someone that costs almost $100. My parents complain about him, but don't want to help me to afford the training. Try harder. It's a dog. All dogs can be trained. You just have to try harder. ESH for not training it as a pup. What is ESH? I have no idea. So yeah, seems like the people in the comments are having the same thoughts as me, is, you need to train the dog. Next. Am I the asshole for calling her heartless for not liking my dog? Am I the asshole? My wife has always been more of a cat person. She has 3 cats. All 3 of them hate me, but absolutely adore my wife. I mean, all 3 of them lift up their arms to be picked up by her in the morning for snuggles before going about their routine. But if I walk in the room, they run away. It's been like this. It's always been like this. I'm more of a dog person. I wanted a dog 2 years ago, and my wife reluctantly agreed. The biggest argument I had to present to the court was that she had 3 cats, and it was only fair that I was able to get my dog. She never told me no, but she said she would not be assuming responsibility over the dog. She said that a dog's neediness and inability to be independent was a huge deal for her, and that's why she prefers her cats, whom are basically independent 90% of the time. My wife also has a severe problem with her face being touched, and her cats don't get in her face. This has become an issue with the dog. Strange. My cat gets in my face. So I got the dog 2 years ago after our talk, and the dog just so happens to love being in people's faces. She's a small mixed breed heeler wiener dog. She will do everything in her power to jump on your lap and smash her face off of yours and unleash a million kisses. My wife can't handle it, therefore won't even acknowledge the dog, because this is the only way the dog shows affection. I get it, but at the same time, my dog thinks my wife hates her and is constantly whining while watching my wife, because my dog loves her and just wants to be loved back, but my wife outright refuses because of the face issue. My wife tried originally and was very stern on telling the dog no and stopping her from getting to her face. But the one thing I'm incapable of training her is out of this issue. I mean, you can't even pet the dog without her immediately jumping to your face. It's like an absolute need of hers to smother your face. I told my wife to please try to get over it and allow the dog to love on her the way she needs to, and my wife got pissed. She said I've been forcing this on her since day one, when she never forced her cats on me. She said she doesn't have to change who she is for her cats, who she loves, so why should she force herself into an uncomfortable position to appease a dog? I told her she's heartless and cruel. She in turn called me an asshole because I knew she doesn't like her face being touched before the dog, so expecting her to change to please an animal is fucking ridiculous, and that she will leave if I keep it up. Am I the asshole? Wow. Yeah, I think so. You guys talked about this beforehand, and yeah, I think you're the jerk. I love dogs too, but I think you are really not respecting your wife's boundaries right now. Let's see if the comments agree. Top comment reads, all right, let's change this up a bit. Let's say your wife loves spiders and you hate spiders. After X amount of time, you finally cave in and allow her to have a pet spider with clear boundaries. Now she demands that you put the spider on your face, and that's how she thinks the spider shows intimacy, and calls you ridiculous for not seeing it her way. Catch my drift yet? You're the asshole. Totally agree with that. You're the asshole. And if that said spider insists on getting on your face to show intimacy, you'd probably ask that your wife train her spider to stop that, since she is the one responsible for the spider as its owner. OP, go hire a dog trainer and train your dog, period. So yeah, I agree. But that is all the time we have for today's episode. I do have more animal stories that get juicier and juicier, but I do have to limit the episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know if you want me to continue with this theme. I would be more than happy to, and you have a good rest of your day.